Show us your tips for progroupracing.com.au. Daggy flying solo for our midweek preview, first of two shows today. Hopefully the Beaver will join us for the second show as we look towards Saturday racing. But for now, if he doesn't, anyone interested in a co-host role for racing podcast, give us a shout out. Until then, we're looking towards feature racing at both Moonee Valley and a supplementary meeting at Canterbury, headlined by the Group 2 Australia Stakes. Borderline Group 2, I suppose, the way it's shaped up tonight. But hopefully there's a winner or two, and we'll get stuck into Moonee Valley first, where the rail is in the true. Expecting to play like Moonee Valley, probably a little bit on pace early, and with the rail and true, you'll be able to make ground late, I'm hoping. We kick off with the 2,500 metre benchmark 70, where I am going to put playoffs on top, the top weight. Claim for Will Price here for the Mara and Eustace stable. Hasn't had the 2,500 metre run this prep, 2 over 2,000 metres, which have both been good. Chased home in this prep to Australis, De Rosa, Takumi, who have all won in town, and has a winner packing them. But just saying with the New Zealand breeding as well, hopefully the 2,000 metre runs have fit enough to step out to the 2,500 and will take control of this race and hopefully be very hard to run past. Looking for the lead-up runners, obviously Coin Collector, and then the two that have had the 3,000 metre run 7 and 8 down the bottom are the ones that have had the prep run for the 2,500 metres, but wasn't that impressed by any of them, to be honest. So just going away from that form, and hopefully playoffs out to the distance can get us off to a decent enough start on a Friday night. Race 2 for the 2-year-olds over the 1,000 metres. A lot of unraced, all unraced here, bar the bottom few. And as we get on the verge of the Blue Diamond lead-ups, I'm assuming there's going to be a nice horse or two step out here. No confidence at all because I haven't invested the time this week to go through the jump outs. Perhaps it's usually about the time of year that the Hayes and Dabenig stable roll out a good one. But there is too much for me to really go through and have any firm opinion. Race 3 over the 1,000 again, 955 to be correct. Elderflower went like a rocket in town. Top weight for Canberra Wheeler. Start before that was caught 5 wide around the valley, so you can complete that. If it repeats last start, this race is all but over. Just looking at the market, it's been smashed from when I did the Form 2. I believe it's into odds on now. It could have got black the other night, but should take control, should be hard to beat, and hopefully we're 2 from 2 by this stage of the game. Leading into race 4, where we have another short price favourite. A few borderline group horses here that'll run well. Streets of Avalon's always a little trier in some of these races, but Viridine probably wins. Ran okay last start behind Rohirrim. Out of that race, Rohirrim went on to run 4th, and the Odyssey won on Magic Wednesday last week, so a little bit of form coming through. I believe I've heard James Cummings quite confident that Viridine's there to win, and it probably will, so we'll keep the ball rolling there. Race 5, another 1,000 metre affair, this time for the benchmark 64s. With the scratchings that have come out this morning, I'm probably going to end up having something on the WA horse down the bottom here, Continuance. Okay form, nothing electric about the times or anything like that, but it's all soft track form. Comes to Moonee Valley, probably rolls forward now with a couple of scratchings, and again, Will Price on top. I believe it's probably got one job, go forward, hopefully set itself up for a reasonable Melbourne campaign for the flying at Lindsay Smith Yard. So number 11, Continuance on top. Race 6 over the 2,040, Cox Plate start, another 64 race. Nearly impossible to really have a firm opinion here. The one I'll have a spec on at the each way price, though, will be, well, it's not each way anymore, so everyone has already spec'd it. 550, there we go. Is the different form from Adelaide. Resurge, number 2. For Canberra Wheeler in the McAvoy yard. Hasn't won for a while. Chased a few usual suspects over in SA, Serious Spender and Farouk. But there's nothing really here I want to really get excited about away from it. So just in interest of the old different form popping up, going to put that one on top. Race 7, the sprint for the mares. Over the 1,200 metres. 3-year-old girls, and Zesty Bell is flying this prep, returned in nice order, and then was pretty dominant down the straight in town and what I think is a reasonable form race. So it goes on top by default almost there. The one at double figure odds who just never handled it straight at all. It went out a winner last prep. I mentioned it in the last preview I did was Lucelli. Still getting around $8 there. And I think around a bend, Michael Pye on top will be a much improved runner. Ran okay. I didn't think it just didn't handle it straight at all. Finished about 3 lengths away from Zesty Bell and perhaps can be the fly in the open for here tonight. And the last over the 1,200 metres, a benchmark 70 to wrap it up. Another, with the scratchings, become a little less impossible. Second slip I would have had on top. So if he's staying in Adelaide, it's a bet there. Now I'm defaulting back to, again, the Lindsay Smith yard, Ethan Brown, and number 10, Pakapanyal. Again, lightly raced over from WA, and probably will get out to a little bit further, but can set itself up here in a very average race, let's say, to run well. So number 10 to finish off there, Pakapanyal. Quick summary of my thoughts at Moonee Valley. Well, the first three I'm pretty keen on. I don't really have a best there, but the Elderflower, Viridine, that combination there, and potentially throw playoffs and where are we here? And those four will cover us off. I think if those four win, it's a winning night for myself, and that might do me. Might stay in the good books and watch a movie with the missus or something before we get too late into the night. Same deal at Canterbury, though. So for ProBook, let's just mention progretracing.com.au, where they have their own free tips, extensive guides, and articles up each and every day. So check them out. And we'll head to Canterbury for the supplementary Friday night meeting with the rail in the 6. Traditional thoughts will be looking for on paces and leaders, as you tend to do at Canterbury. Last time it was in a 6, though, you were able to make some ground. Some winners were able to swoop and win. It played fairly fair, but I've worked tonight with it being back to regulation Canterbury. We kick off with the 3-year-old fillies, and hopefully the theme of the early winners in the night continues with good omens. Pretty good leading up and debut at Warwick Farm before being grabbed by Flexible late. That ties into 15 Aria, who's probably a Saturday horse in waiting. And will run well here with control and hard to beat around the $3 mark. The trial of Not a Choice, last trial was okay. Nash's book for John O'Shea, which is interesting, as I just get up my form guide. And they were the two main ones there, but I'm thinking race one, number one can get us off to a reasonable start. Race 2, the Boys Maiden, same over the 1,200 metres. And where are we here? 1250. Not sure. Mount Fuji was a decent enough trial. It's been backed again. Hit the line quite nicely. He was ridden out to do so to chase Ice Cube, who will get the lead here. We might have an idea of the first how that track will play. The Racing New South Wales maps have them clearly being Ice Cube being the clear leader. If Mount Fuji's close enough, it may run past it, but not overly thrilled you're playing in the race either way. The rail stays in the same position for the benchmark 72 rail. The barriers stay in the same position for the 1250 race 3, where with the dominant return of April Rain means that it probably has another dominant win here and takes its next step towards proper metro stuff. Pretty good, explosive finish, set up here at the track. The one, if it is red hot rails and is still double figures, that always seem to have something on and runs, is an honest mare. Averdane, if it finds the rails, could be hard to run down. About $13, I believe it was last I checked. Could be hard to run past their number 2, around here we are, $12 mark. Could be the Cornella horse, for lack of a better term. Race 4 over the 1,900 metres, another 72, where we see Moobras had been saved from Warwick Farm last week. Now has the extra week off. Comes here, dry track, I believe, if he can run on, sits close enough and is good enough to win this race if it repeats last start. That ties into the Jungle Book, who won well enough in town. Yeah, interesting race here, still $14. And Amaretti's flying, probably leads this race up and will be the one to get past. It'll be in the finish late. But I'm thinking Moobra is very hard to beat in this affair. Race 5, the meeting falls a little bit off a cliff after this. Scratchings have helped a little bit. Race 5, which is over the 1550, another 72. The official maps have Pitchfork leading. I thought Know-It-All Jack and Foxborough might have something to say about that, but if it does, with Tommy Berry on, probably the horse to beat. Definitely, maybe a bit short now. Know-It-All Jack, if it repeats some of its stuff from 2 preps ago, hard to go past, but I don't think it's with us anymore. Foxborough is not a horse, so a lot of these the rest of the other chases have all been scratched. So Pitchfork might be a good thing with a soft lead here, if that is the case. Race 6. Over the 1,200 metres. Again, scratchings have had a little bit of a say in this. I was all revved up to talk about super efforts form lines, which I'll save for the second show today because it's come out. Probably leaves by default the favourite, the one to beat, Frozen in Time, just missed behind Triple Ace and Malkovich at Roundwick. Probably sits close enough to the lead now, to be honest, with the scratchings, and hard to beat. There was a change of tactics on Volpine. Goes forward with the scratchings, might even find the rail and give a shake here if there's no other pace. But yeah, I think the market's about right there. Race 7, 5-year-old for the 5-year-olds and up over the 1,100 metres. Yeah, again, not an overly exciting way to finish the day. The 2 I'll spec that maybe have some credentials. Nick Tock with Jess Taylor might be given one job here, and that's just to get straight across from the wider gate, find a fence, and maybe give a kick and a sight at double figures. The other one is Mossman Gorge, coming back from Saturday grade, where it chased home. What race was that in? Wasn't far off. Where are we here? The De Grawn race, which had Bellagio missing it as well. Reasonable enough for this, and again, if that can go forward under Hugh Bowman, you're getting, again, each way odds for both of those, $14 and currently $9, Mossman Gorge. Probably a reasonable bet to finish the day, but nothing I'm really going to rubber stamp in the last either. So I'm not for sure I've filled anyone with much confidence in the second half of both programs there, but I'm thinking some exciting betting opportunities earlier in the day, maybe link up a few of those shorties. I'll make my best at Canterbury, April Rain. No surprises there. And the value will be the 2 and the last, Mossman Gorge. And Nick Tock hopefully can get a bit of a result there. Back later today with a proper show to look at Saturday racing across, where are we tomorrow? Tomorrow, Roundwick and Sandown. And then back on Monday, because we'll be doing Australia Day as well, with some Metro racing. The Blue Diamond stuff kicks off at Caulfield. So more shows to come in the near future. Stay tuned to progroupracing.com.au, and as well as give us a subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. And we'll speak to you again, or at least I will, hopefully joined by the Beaver later this afternoon.